All in One Sports Podcast, baby. Yeah, back on the scene with a gangster lean. Two wrongs don't make a right, but three lefts, or three rights make a left, and three lefts make a right. But we're always right, so it doesn't matter if we go right or left. What's poppin'? Hey, and greetings to our listeners and viewers. This is All in One Sports Podcast, also known as A1 Sports Podcast, and better known as A1SP. And you are now tuned into Chris B. Ballin with the NBA. Yeah, baby. NBA is back, and we're back. So we are your one stop for your sports info needs, and we will be covering many sports topics with the segments, the NFL with 4th and 3, let's get it, which is a look around the NFL with breaking news and analysis, and the NFC East Chronicles, bringing fans of the Cowboys, Washington football team, Eagles, and Giants some great insight and expert analysis of their beloved teams. Also, Major League Baseball's Peter Dubs, doubles and double plays. And, of course, Chris B. Ballin with the NBA, which we're about to do here in a second, as well as Kicking It with Uncle Pete Soccer. It's around the corner. USA. Go ahead, Timothy Weah, shout out. And the 500-pound gorilla in the zone, which is controversial and pressing topics. And E.Orr, which has us picking games of the week. So you are just one click away from all your sports info needs, especially when you're on the run. And look for our logo with the complete spelling of All in One Sports Podcast, which with the colors of red, white, and blue stripes running through them. So we ask you to apply some pressure to that subscribe button and do the same with that notification bell. Also, turn others on to this sports information movement on a podcast format with shares and likes so they too can be up on things. You can find us via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, IG, and many more platforms to come in the very near future. We're back! Yeah, like Chris B. Ballin with the NBA. Here we go. All right, allow us to introduce ourselves. We are the Griot Trio of sports podcasting, bringing it with spectacular vernacular straight out of the DMV. Now, here's our panel of experts making this podcast twice as nice. Starting with the mathematical whiz, baseball guru and fact checker, and payroll supervisor by day and night, known around here as the voice of reason, yours truly, Peter Dubs. What up, Dubs?
What's up? Wizards in first place in the Eastern Conference. I don't care how long it lasts. Just the fact that I've seen it with my own eyes, I am set.
Over a 2-week span, I'm with it.
That's right.
That don't happen often. Far and few in between, but we're going to enjoy this. I'm enjoying all these moments. And now, representing the youth movement splendidly, with his forte being the NBA and predicting outcomes of games. Also a music producer and DJ, where he goes by just 4 letters, KOTJ. But around here, he is Chris B. Christodamus, and also a Lakers fan.
We still 8th seed, and LeBron is doing the I'm going to fake like I'm injured so he can get AD and Russ to get some chemistry built, because LeBron doesn't need to do anything to build chemistry around his team. He is the team. Chestnut records is only the beginning of the season. And you know how LeBron says what after the first 25 games, that's when he gets serious.
Mm-hmm.
So relax.
You may not have that luxury this year.
It happened multiple times. It happened.
We're about to get into all that, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. It happened multiple times.
But I feel what you're saying. LeBron is strategic with his stuff, and he's
That's
a little
true.
up there in age. He ain't trying to burn himself out when there's no need to. And yeah, they do need to develop some chemistry before he jumps in the mix, because we know LeBron can play with anybody, as we've seen. Right? He's a kingmaker. And now the ish-talking ballaholic who grew up in an era when smoking on airplanes just about everywhere else was allowed. So he ain't scared of none of y'all smoke, and definitely not no secondhand smoke. Also a persuasion expert. Yours truly, Uncle P, a.k.a. the Banterer Whisperer. So once again, you are now tuned into Crispy Ballin with the NBA, baby. And it goes like this.
They're playing basketball. We love that basketball.
Hey, introduce us, Chris B. What we got on the table, man? What's going on with the NBA, baby?
Well, since y'all are talking about standings and you're so excited.
Yeah, we are,
about
man.
Standings.
We can't help ourselves.
In the Eastern Conference, number 1, the Washington Wizards are 10-4. Brooklyn Nets are 11-5. Number 3, the Bulls are 10-5.
Oh,
Heat,
yeah.
number 4, 10-5. Hornets 9-7. Cavs 9-7. Knicks 8-7. Sixers 8-7. Celtics 7-8. Raptors 7-8. Bucks 7-8. Hawks 7-9. Pacers 6-10. Pistons 4-10. And the Magic 4-11.
Yeah, the bottom.
And on the Western Conference, 12-2. Suns second, 11-3. Jazz third, 9-5. Mavs 4, 9-5. Nuggets fifth, 9-5. Clippers 6, 9-5. Blazers 7th, 8-8. Lakers 8th, 8-8. Grizzlies 7-7. Thunder 6-8. Kings 6-9. Timberwolves 5-9. Spurs 14-10. 4-10. I'm sorry. Pelicans 2-14. Rockets 1-14.
Where's John Waldo? Waldo, get it?
Yikes.
He ain't around.
Wow. Does Patty Mills make that big of a difference?
I guess so.
The
And
Spurs
Pops-
are 4-10.
They needed a guard. They needed.
Pops,
Yeah.
is it time to? Well, Patty Mills and of course my man who's up in Chicago right now, balling out with
they're off the
Bulls.
mark.
Caruso.
Yeah, I mean, you take those two guys off your team, yeah, it's mince meat to me.
Maybe they need John Wall.
Yeah, oh, there you go. That's a better landing spot for John
Yeah,
Wall.
it is.
Other
It
than
is.
where we hear, you were telling me some rumors about him.
But I heard Miami's interested, which is
Yeah.
a shocker, but
Yeah, they're doing your boy dirty.
Miami got Kyle Lowry. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
well, why are you
They
doing
need more
Kyle
for it.
like that? Did Kyle ask for that? Did Kyle something ain't working out there that we don't know about? Does Kyle want to go
No,
to?
I think they're just looking at Kyle's 35 and Wall is like 30, 31. So it's the age thing.
4-year difference. They're trying to sustain a multiple playoff runs within the season. I think they have a squad. Honestly, from my perspective, the East is a lot stronger right now. They have a lot more
It
teams.
is finally.
The West is looking very, very
The West is not the best.
scrappy.
Mhm.
There's only 2 10-win teams. Everyone else is 9 wins or 8.
Yep.
And guess what? Head to head right now, the East is 36-30 against the West so far.
There you go. We'll take it after so many years of just coming up short.
And the West has the worst team in the NBA with the 1-win Rockets.
Houston.
The East's worst team is the Magic, who have 4 wins.
Mm.
You're only as good as your weakest link, and that should show you being 3 games ahead in that category.
True. Yeah. Let me ask y'all this, man. Do you think the Wizards have a chance? I mean, I know we started off hot and everything, right? But do you think they have a chance to actually compete this year in the Eastern Conference for the Eastern Conference Finals? Or even possibly going to the NBA Finals? What you think, Dobbs?
I think they do. I think
so?
So their team chemistry is really well with all these new pieces. Once they get Bertrand's back and get Rui back, Rui Hachimura, and work them into the mix, that's just going to solidify their second unit at best, because once they get those guys back, neither one of them is going to start.
Right.
Okay. I can't remember why Rui's out, but I can see where you don't
think Rui will start?
I don't want Rui to start. I think what they have in place, what they have going on right now, has worked out so well that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay. If anything, mix him into that second unit. Like, I mean, their first round pick from last year, after he's in that second unit.
Right.
So, blend them in with that second unit, and make them earn it. There's a lot of, him having been a starter just based on the fact that he was a first round draft pick. But he wasn't your traditional first round draft pick. He wasn't your traditional first round draft pick that's going to change your franchise in any way, shape, or form. So let's call a spade a spade. He's a solid player. If he starts, he can put up 20 and 8. But he also very easily, based on our chemistry right now, can come off the bench, be on the second unit, and
give
maybe
us 15.
And give us 15 and maybe 10.
Right. Maybe even 10, and we'll take either one.
Exactly.
But I really would like a starting lineup of Bradley Beal, Dinwiddie, if Thomas Bryant gets back, I'll take him as a starter over your boy.
Over Gafford?
Over Gafford. Gafford doesn't really give me offense. He gives me hustle, but he doesn't give me offense. So, I mean, you can start off with him, but I mean, I'd rather somebody who can stretch the floor a little bit. So that gives, Bradley more room to, get to the back bucket as well as Dinwiddie. And so have Kuzma and Rui. So Kuzma, Rui, Bradley, Dinwiddie, and I think would be a better starting lineup. And then now coming off the bench, you already got Montrezl Harrell coming off the bench. You can have Gafford coming off the bench. You can have Danny Avila coming off the bench along with Neto. And that's a strong bench right there. But I think that Rui I think I'll keep him as a starter. Seeing that what I saw from him last year in the playoffs, he's kind of coming along, and people got to realize that his first season was cut, his rookie season was cut short because of the pandemic, and he's just steadily getting better. So I don't know what the problem is with him, what's going on in his personal life, whatever, but when he gets back, I hope they can slowly work him back into the starting lineup. So
I'd say from this stance that the Wizards could be a top 3 team in the East. I wouldn't take first seed going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right. I don't see that
There's
either.
3 other teams that are competing for that first spot in the Net, Heat, and Bulls, and all of them are playing at high levels.
Right.
Yeah.
Any one of those 4 can be the number 1 seed. I'm not excluding the Wizards, but I don't see them being number 1.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't look past the 76ers, man. I think if Benjamin decides to come back or whatever, they work things out, kiss and make up, he can still bring them back up to. You don't think they will? And
I don't think they will. I think
they might get for him.
It's a far cry from.
I think.
Okay, so who could they get for him?
Broken.
So if they get a decent player for him, I think that decent player can still catapult them back up.
But Jaylen Brown, Ben Simmons trade doesn't sound bad to me.
Yeah, but then
there's a balance, though. Trades in the NBA got a balance.
The Celtics inner division. I mean, I don't think they'll want to let go of Jaylen because Jaylen will get a 40 every time he sees them. Then pretty much that's a death sentence. Even though the Celtics right now,
I mean, they're both lowly. They're both Sixers are in the bottom of the.
That's true.
That
is true.
And the Celtics are outside of that, so it's like they're not really getting anywhere if they do or.
Okay, so basically, you don't see the Washington Wizards getting to the
not holding
Eastern
on to
Conference
first.
final.
They'll make it be a top 3, but not holding on to first.
I think they can get past the second round and squeak into the Eastern Conference Finals, just like
I think they can.
Atlanta did last year. Being the that hot team, the new flavor.
But the story of that season was it was anyone's game. Now it depends on. Would that be the same vibe? Because
if Kyrie doesn't come back, it's still anyone's game to me. I mean, the Bulls are doing all right, but I don't think they're world beaters. I don't think the Heat either. I mean, they're still looking for help outside trying to get John Wall. Yeah. And, so I think that, the Celtics aren't what they used to be. 76ers aren't what they used to be. The Bucks, I think, will obviously get better when or do you all think that he'll get better when or they'll get better when Middleton returns?
Middleton came back and they won against the Lakers.
Okay.
They eked out that win, though. It wasn't.
Yeah, without LeBron. Yeah, maybe they're still trying to get their chemistry together. Yeah.
And also, LeBron wasn't playing, of course. But
right.
They're trying to do, I keep saying this in LA. They're not worried about LeBron coming back. Worried about AD and Russ running that team. They need to develop more chemistry because LeBron is literally plug and play.
Okay. Well, in the Eastern Conference, I'll say that the Wizards are doing pretty good, hanging in first place without Rui and Thomas Bryant and some other players, and Bradley missing some time. But barring injuries, I think the Bulls will be in the thick of things.
Yeah, they will be.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And the Nets, if everything is irate with Kyrie, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bob
Well,
Malik.
that's that's not happening. There's been no updates.
Yeah. But how long do you think Kyrie? You think Curry will just say the whole season, and then I mean, he is up there in age.
I think it gets worse. I think if the Nets play good, Kyrie won't even be that pressed to come back. He's like, the team doesn't even need me. Just like what happened with Boston.
They're not going to play good without Kyrie.
Forget about
as we
that.
can see already.
As we can see
already, I think that the Nets will be maybe a 3 seed without Kyrie, but they're not stupid. They're not
formidable in a 7-game series.
They realize that without Kyrie, they're not going anywhere.
Like if they see a team with some guards, like in Chicago, if they see Chicago in a 7-game series, that might go all 7.
Okay.
Heck, I even think the Bucks can still take them. And like if there's like a weird 3-6 matchup between the Nets.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Bucks without Kyrie, they're going up. Kyrie is the secret sauce. People don't realize that. Without Kyrie, they're just not that good. I mean, they're good, but they're not as good as they could be, obviously.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not as formidable.
I'm like, if I even go as far as the Sixers. If you're seeing a big man in that game,
yeah, it's tough. They're gonna use up all their fouls on
Embiid's
Blake
gonna score
Griffin
40 almost. At least 3 of those 4. At least 3 of those 4 wins.
Too much. Who is their big man right now? Is it Aldridge?
I think it's Blake and
it's by committee. Aldridge, and it's Blake.
I forgot the other guy's name, but that's not gonna work. That's definitely not gonna work.
Yeah.
No, not playoff time. I mean, it's way too early to be calling it, but at age, if you're not making any moves for a legit big man, like if they pushed and got DeAndre Ayton, that'd be scary.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. But and especially with their 10-game winning streak right now, and Chris Paul ain't having that, and neither is Devin. But we were talking about the Bucks, right? Do you think the Bucks can somehow get their grip or whatever, find their feet?
Well, it was shooting that was the problem,
and win the East. Do you think they have a shot at getting back to the?
I don't say win the East. I'd say they can be 4, 5, 6 seed range.
All right.
I wouldn't have them winning anything because the way those top 4 teams are playing right now, it's literally is going to be a dog fight, probably.
Right. Yeah, I believe so. And also, can the Hawks rebound? Do you think the Hawks can rebound and get back into the thick of things? And right now, they're in the 12th spot as we speak right now. What a difference a year makes.
We got to see about that one. I mean, it also on Trae Young as per usual.
Right.
The Mavs need Luka. Your leader doesn't step up. The team's going to follow.
And some of his supporting cast just aren't performing like they did last year. Kevin Huerter, I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
He's not performing like he did, anywhere close to like he did last year. He's not even starting now, I don't think.
Yeah.
So you just can't play yourself off the depth chart like that after you put a world to a playoff run last season.
Exactly.
Something's up.
One season somebody's up, the next season somebody's down. So I see us being up, and we'll gladly take their spot if they decide to
That's right.
slowly decline. I personally see them probably rebounding, but maybe 8th spot, maybe the play-in. I see the Hawks, but I don't see them as being a top 4 team in the top 4 seeds. I don't see that happening. And
it's a long season, though.
It's a long season. A lot of injuries.
Too early to call.
All those things can take place. The Celtics, will they be looking for a new GM or new head coach first? What do you think is going to happen?
I think they might go 2 for 1.
I agree.
Because those Boston
none of those moves have made them better.
Nah. Ime, I'm sorry, but
How do you get
I don't
worse
think
with
they
the
bought
same
into it.
players if you just move the head coach and the GM?
Well, because the GM is now the old head coach, so you still have that stench hanging around. And as I said, if Brad Stevens is still around, they're going down. So unless they switch that narrative of thinking that, I don't even know why they still have him in the building, but somehow he convinced someone that he's the man for the job. He's still around. That stench is still around, and players will soon be leaving if they figure we can't win here, and this guy is a big part of it. How do you move a coach who has been on decline for the last 3 seasons up into the head office?
It could be a mass bleed out too for the trade deadline. They might do something crazy and start gutting their roster like Washington Nationals did.
Hey, we'll take Tatum if
Or
he's on the block.
succeeding after you
We'll
came
we'll
after you
we'll
went
take
so
Tatum
far.
for two of anything except for Bradley. Pick him.
I still think a
Beg
Jaylen
'em.
Brown Ben Simmons trade is not far fetched.
Okay.
Look, I'll tell you why Brad Stevens is still in the building.
Why?
In 2018-19, he signed a 6-year contract worth $3.6 million a year.
Okay. Now it's all
Yeah,
starting
put
to make sense.
that. You got to make something out of that.
Yeah.
You got to still pay that man. And he's
this
too
is-
expensive to be
So
assistant coach.
this is year 3. So he's going to be GM for at least this year and 3 more years.
Okay.
Yikes.
So the head coach will go before he
Yikes.
goes.
He's the head
And
coach.
maybe he
of
might
the-
do
yeah.
a Pat Riley move and come down like he did when they
Exactly.
won the championship and take over.
Because remember, people were hunkering last year for him to be gone. So he may be in the position to say, "You wanted me gone? Okay, I left, but look at what
Right.
happened. So now I got to come back and fix it."
Yipes.
Yeah.
So, I would say for the Hornets, don't let Daddy LeVar blow their Hornets, because if he does get in there and start causing problems, I don't know if Michael Jordan can handle that guy. I mean,
He's been good so far, though, right?
He's been good, and it might have a lot. Maybe LaMelo just told him, "Hey, Dad, I'm a grown ass man."
Yeah,
now.
because look, hopefully he's focusing all his efforts on
Mhm.
caring for his wife, who is a cancer survivor.
Exactly.
You know,
So,
and the boys are men now.
men, all 3 of them.
Stay out
Not
of
only
it,
that, they're all in the league.
and they're
Right.
all in the league. So just
Why
let
you
them,
need more theatrics?
So
let them
you
wear
made
your
the prediction.
let them wear your ugly
Ride it
ass
out.
shoes and leave it at that.
They ain't gonna wear them
and the
ugly-ass
gear.
shoes.
Yeah, ain't gonna wear that stuff.
Them things might give them some ankle spurs or whatever.
Yeah.
What y'all think about the Knicks, man? The Knicks, to me, it's typical New York noise. Yeah, blah blah blah. But right now they're sitting in 7th. I mean, do you think last year was an aberration, an anomaly
For who?
for the New York Knickerbockers? Because right now in the 7th spot, everybody was talking about how they might, be like anywhere between 1 and 3. I don't see that this year.
No, I don't see that at all.
I think they overachieved last year. They definitely overachieved, I believe. Yeah.
And they're for whatever reason they're choosing to not play in the defense. I mean, a couple of games ago, Tibbs benched all his 5 starters in the 4th quarter of the game because they just weren't playing defense. And and so and that's probably something that's going to continue to happen if they can continue to play that way. They've been up and down, and so and I think you're right. Maybe they hit their stride too early last year. So,
what do y'all think about the Cleveland Cavaliers start to this season so far?
They're surprising, as surprising if not more than the Wizards, but I just don't think they can sustain it.
Yeah. What do you think, B? Overachievers or are you a believer?
What was it again?
Cleveland Cavaliers.
I wouldn't say overachievers. I mean, they were hanging with the Warriors.
All right.
Scores now, but I think there's some legitimacy to what they're doing.
They're doing all this without Sexton, which is very, promising for them, if I was to say. Yeah. And the Raptors without Kawhi, it's bye-bye. You ain't going nowhere. I mean, I don't see it happening.
I mean, Lowry's gone too, so that's
Yeah, Lowry, that's the meat of their team. So Siakam and a few others, Van Fleet or whatever, are left behind. But and as far as the Pacers, Pistons, and Magic, it's ping pong balls and prayers for all of y'all. So it is what it is. Look into the draft. Start scouting early. College basketball just started. Get with it. All right, let's talk about the West a little bit, y'all. Golden State Warriors. Do y'all think they're the best in the West?
Yes.
Or they're going to be the best in the West this year? Do you see them representing the West in the NBA Finals this year?
I think it's possible.
When Clay and Wiseman get back?
Yeah, when you talk about teams who could only get better when they have some A player return, I mean, you're talking Clay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that they're doing what they're doing without Clay is amazing. They're the one team that chemistry-wise, there's just no doubting their chemistry, Clay or no Clay.
Right.
And once he comes back, they're not going to skip a beat. They're not going to slow down.
They'll be better with
So
Clay.
I think they'll be better.
Right.
Those guys that are getting minutes now in his place, they know that even after he comes, they're still going to get minutes.
Poole,
they're still going to get minutes. They're just not going to be a starter. That's it.
Right.
So, so yeah, and I don't think it'll take Clay long to get back to being Clay. So, so yeah,
let's say there's 5 games. I wouldn't say expect them to put up crazy numbers when he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep.
But let me pose this question to you, B. What percentage do you give the Lakers at making the NBA Finals this year?
I still have it pretty high.
Pretty high hopes.
They'll
make it.
It's a 7-game series. All these games are losing by ones. These close games. This is without LeBron, of course, like I said, and he's doing chess, not checkers. You know, LeBron is beginning of the season serious. He's never took this to the beginning of the season serious.
Right.
Time second quarter of the season, they hit their stride. They start winning multiple games. They start moving up in the seeds, and you're just like, whoa! They weren't here this last week. Now they're in the conference. Like, what happened? It always is a subtle move, a subtle change, and I'm like, they also start the season with a very injury-riddled roster. A lot of people just got THT back. They're gonna get soon. They're clamoring for that. Like, let's not forget how loaded they are at shooting. That firepower is going to get nothing but more. They're missing that right now, but there's pieces. The pieces are going to come back, and there's going to be a lot more synergy going down the stretch.
Did you hear Stephen A. this week utter the same words I said? Did you hear what he said about LeBron?
I'm so happy because every time Stephen A. says some tape like that, he's always wrong.
Well, I might not be. Stephen A. might be right this time because I do believe that his glory years, or I mean, unless
what
he
Keyshawn said.
I heard what Keyshawn said. I heard what he said.
You're giving just taking 15
he's just
games
a Laker
into
fan.
the season.
He's a Laker fan because sometimes when you, as I myself, sometimes when you're a Cowboy fan, when they weren't that good, and I thought they were still that good, I would say, oh, they're going to do this. But in reality, they're not, because, you know, sometimes your glory years have passed you by and some of the key pieces that you think are there aren't there. So, yes, he said that. And for me, right now, the Lakers sit in the 8th spot. Of course, we mentioned without LeBron, he hasn't been playing. And, you know, these guys are trying to find their way. But I think it'd be the 4 C's. You know, the 4 C's in basketball is something that I believe that the Lakers are going to have to find their way with. And 1 C is chemistry, cohesion, continuity, and the last C is Carmelo. If Carmelo does what he's been doing when he's not counted on as the go-to guy, you guys have a chance. And of course, find a way to play with Russ where Russ is just not a chicken with his head cut off out there running 100 and something miles an hour and just not really feeling the game and letting it come to him, because I can see people are starting to get frustrated with his play. And then when you have a guy like Frankie the Flunky who's running everything, I mean, I don't really think he has that cachet or what it takes to say, okay, hey, look, you know, to talk to, you know, a Westbrook in that kind of way to put him in his place. Whereas maybe if Jason Kidd was there, he could help out with that. Or even
once,
the other guy.
like I said, once Kendrick Nunn gets back into the fold, it switches the rotation a little bit. It gets like a little less pressure off of Russ. They're gonna have him, Rondo. It's not
who?
Kendrick Nunn.
Oh, okay. None.
Like I said,
None yet.
and also, like I
I don't know
said,
too
they're
much
they're
about this
missing
Kendrick
on
guy.
they're missing LeBron, who's averaging 24, 40,
Mhm.
46% from the field, 5
Right.
rebounds, 7 assists.
Okay.
That's just nothing but more offense needed. They're not. He can, like I said, it's everyone doing these overreactions. I'm loving it. Please, he only played 6 averages.
Okay.
Please
So
continue.
let me ask y'all this.
Every time they say he's washed, he always comes back and says, "Okay."
I'm not saying he's washed. I'm just saying that
Dropped it on
he's
your
not
head.
the LeBron he used to be, and to actually, dominate a game the
Same
way he
story with
used
Melo,
to,
though,
he can't
right?
do that anymore. He can't do that anymore.
It was the same
LeBron
story with
just
Melo, and he wasn't even in the league. Not looking.
Yeah, but I mean, these guys are still old men, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? LeBron ain't the 30-year-old that he once was, or the 33-year-old he once was. He's 7 now or something like that. So, hey, you start going down at some point. You're not the same player, and I just don't think so. But let me ask you this. Who do you think is the toughest challenge for the Warriors? Is it Phoenix? Is it Utah? Or is it the Clippers if Kawhi asks Kawhi why if he returns?
Phoenix.
Phoenix?
Yeah, Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix. Yeah, I think they're the toughest challenge for the Warriors.
I think we're in store for some epic battles between
Yeah.
CP3 and Curry.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's gonna be tough.
I mean, that means their drama continues. There's always had some
Oh,
sort
yeah,
It's
of
always been, yeah.
There's always been a back page story there. I think that Dallas, if they get a kind of ball handling, scoring person, it doesn't have to be a guard, they can, find their way from the 4th seed to at least the number 2 seed. That's what I think. But right now, without another scorer or another guy who can take the pressure off of Luka and take over a game, they're gonna have his supporting cast is just not there. And the Utah's a great regular season team, but can they make it to the finals? I don't know. But you bring up Denver. Denver is still without Murray, and he needs to hurry back.
Yeah.
If the Nuggets are going to be anything this year.
Yeah, I was wondering when he comes back.
Jokic.
And Jokic still doing MVP things.
Yeah, Jokic is still doing MVP
Four.
things, but in order for them to get over the hump to make it to the finals, they're going to have to get Jamal Murray. Without him, it's a scurry. That's how I see it. He a poet, don't even know. So yeah, I'm just saying. Memphis, Ja Rastafari. He needs some help.
He does.
He needs some help. And Portland, Dame is still the same roster. That was Florida Evans when she found out James died. Damn. So I just see it going down like that, man. And I was looking at it today, and Sacramento, a trade away from being in the lottery, they dropped into the 11th spot. And the overachieving OKC, they're in the 10th spot now.
In the 10th spot, yeah.
Today. Yeah. So we all know Minnesota underachieving due to a bad coaching hire. Dave Vanderpool is still on that bench. And I don't see, if I'm the Celtics halfway through the season, I'm like, yo, Ime, whatever we owe you, we're gonna have to owe you. Go be Nia Long and some cherry thongs, but we need somebody up in here who can get this thing headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
So sorry, cousin Zulu, but your Celtics ain't going anywhere. Like I tried to explain to you last in the offseason, but we had them on briefly, and he's die hard. When you believe in your team like that, you don't see the faults that they have sometimes. But I was here to point out.
You got to be a realistic fan, man.
You got to be. That's what I realize nowadays. And San Antonio. This to my man Pops. Pops, like any other Pops, your time has come. We'll give you your flowers now, but it's time for you to retire. We'll throw everything up on the board. We'll give you, you're going away, but you're not getting it done, buddy. You're just not. New Orleans, I'll quote L Boogie. Now the joy of my world is Zion, but not New Orleans if you can't stay healthy or in shape. Okay. So Zion, I don't see him ending his career there. And of course, Houston, where is John Waldo? Or Waldo? I don't know, but he's not with Houston.
Telling
Right
you,
now. They're shopping him around.
John Wall to the Spurs. That's the perfect landing spot for him.
But they're not going anywhere. Don't you think he
They're
wants to
not.
go to a contender?
Yeah, he does.
I think, I'll be honest with you, I think that he'll be perfect in Philly. I think he'll be perfect there.
Yeah,
He's just what they need. He's a better shooter than that guy. He can run
That's
the
true.
floor more. He's a better point guard. He'll give you 10 assists a game.
yeah.
You know, he'll put Tobias and all those guys in the
And actually,
Curry and them. Yeah.
him and Embiid on the pick and roll.
Yeah, that's going to be dangerous.
Hang it. Yeah.
So, Philly, if you're listening, make that move. But if you think maybe there's some underlying problems here, as I know, recently I was watching the local news and John Wall's nephew had murdered somebody, and now but this was some years ago, and he called John Wall up, the first person. Oh, and it was over road rage. He shot this person.
Wow.
This lady is a girl and her boyfriend. He shot the girl. The thing went through the car, killed her. I mean, people just throwing their lives right now. Throwing away other people's lives. You know what I'm saying? And then throwing their lives away in the process. But jump off a bridge or something. Don't take your frustration out on other people like that.
Seriously.
Yeah, seriously. So, yeah, man. Right now, it ain't looking good for the Lakers. You know why I say it's not looking good for the Lakers, B? Because I don't know if anyone's going to be able to get through to Westbrook. Because we got rid of Westbrook, and we moved to a first-year head coach too now, who doesn't have the continuity. Doesn't have his team all in the fold yet, but somehow we're in first place. So that tells me a lot.
Playoffs last year.
Huh?
So short-term memory.
Oh no! It's not short term. I know what he did to get us to the playoffs last year, but I saw the ceiling, and the ceiling was we're out in the first round every year. Because
because y'all couldn't hang with anybody in the playoffs. Yeah, that was y'all could get
because he can't shoot. He can't shoot. Him as the number one guy that we have to go to as our
he's surrounded by shooters.
He's surrounded by shooters now, but does he know that? Because I still taking the same shots. Somebody needs to tell.
They're still working out the kinks. They're all together for the first time. All it takes is a little bit more, and
you have to have a strong personality to deal with that dude. I'm telling you. And Frankie, the flunky, does not come off as the type of person who's going to get in Westbrook face to tell it. Westbrook might start crip walking in front of him. It brings out, I don't want no part of that gang stuff. Speaking of, you guys just I think are turning your arena name into the crypto something.
Yes.
From December or something like that. How you feel about that?
Meh.
I don't know. It's weird.
No longer the Staples.
Iconic, but I'm like, what? Why? And what?
Because they gave Jeannie Buss and the Buss family more money. It's like Staples is out. I mean, how many people go to Staples nowadays?
But Think Staples Center is iconic.
How many people are still faxing things?
That's right. Exactly.
You don't need stuff from Staples anymore. Everything is right in front. It's on your phone, whatever. So I guess it's signs of the time, man. But hey.
It's a weird name change to me, but I understand how the business is a business.
Right.
There'll always be a business first.
Are they going to put a statue of Kobe out in front of there anytime soon, or are they just going to keep it the way it is? What do you think?
They should. I feel like Kobe deserves a statue.
He deserves a statue. But not the logo. I mean, if you ask me. Not the logo, because it's too much controversy with the logo. They're gonna find too much stuff, and I ain't trying to have them drag that man's name through mud after he's gone. Let it be. Let him rest in peace. Yeah, fellas. So, who y'all got winning the NBA championship this year? Dubs.
Wow, good question.
It's one team.
Wow. Definitely not the Bucks.
Mm-mm.
I would have had the Nets if Kyrie was with them from the beginning.
It's uncertain.
But it's so uncertain there.
But he might come back. You never know.
Yeah, but will it be enough? Will it be too little, too late?
Yeah.
Golden State, I mean, they definitely have a chance. They definitely have a very good chance. I'm just not yet ready to say yes to Golden State. But I'm gonna go Golden State.
Golden State. Okay.
I'm gonna go Golden State.
Hey. Don't be no front runner, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Golden State. All right. Chris B.
I will say it's more wide
on
open
record
than
now.
it's been. I
It's
will
on
say
record now.
it's more wide open than it's been in quite some time.
Okay. I
Yeah.
got you. Chris B. One time only, man. Sticking to your guns.
It's the
Lakers. The Lakers. Got you. What is that scene from?
It's what it is. They're in front of. They make all the headlines. Oh, everything's in discourse. There's. No one saw the big win against the Heat. No one saw how they rallied together. I'm like, yes, they've lost the last two, but they're without LeBron. They got hit with a full arsenal from the Bucks, full arsenal from a healthy Bulls team.
Okay.
Have health on their side. I'm like, the only reason why they've been, if they had a full healthy roster, their record would be different. Because a lot of them came out to the wire, and I was just like, they just needed someone to push them over the top. So this guy get healthy, continue to get that chemistry and build that chemistry, they'll be fine.
Did you ever watch Beverly Hills Cops, like the first one? I know me and Dubs went to go see that together.
Probably have not. But...
Well, there's the sergeant or whatever, or the lieutenant, whoever is running the department, and he's asking Axel Foley, played by Eddie Murphy, why he's in town. And he's like, and he says it again. This is what you said. He's like, you're on vacation. I'm on vacation. So it's the Lakers. I get it. So you're sticking with that tune, and we're sticking with this tune. I'm on vacation. You're with the Lakers. And I'll say that I was all in on the Nets. But Kyrie, COVID, what is it? The vaccination situation has definitely turned my it just turned everything upside down for me. I can't count on him anymore. I can't count on them. And when I look at the West, I'm like, Phoenix, they did their thing. Maybe they're hungry to get back, my man, Chris Paul, whatever. But you know what? I just realized Chris Paul's never won anything. Not on college. He just hasn't won.
Oh, you mean championship wise?
Yeah, he hasn't won.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
well, he's now at least made it to one, but he didn't win.
Can't trust Luka in that team because they don't have anyone around them. Can't trust Utah because what's the name always finds a way to get hurt or something like that, and somewhere along the way, Donovan. And I can't trust the Clippers because Kawhi's not around. So Kawhi asked Kawhi. And Denver, until Murray gets back and I see what he looks like with them, I can't really count them. So I have no choice but to go with Dubs. And the Warriors come out and play. And I think they're coming out to play. And when you add Wiseman and you add Clay, whatever they're adding to it, that just makes them that much more better. And I think that when you start raining threes the way they rain threes, especially when they have control of the ball, that guy who has control of the ball, that changes the game right there. Because LeBron, as much as I love you, you are not controlling the rock. And I think that now that I look at it, I made a statement earlier, but I think I'm going to take that back. I think if they would have found a way to keep Schroeder, they would have been better off. Look how
Wow.
he's balling. Look how he's balling right now
Yeah, that's true.
I was looking at it, I was like, and he's kind of under control. He'll listen to LeBron.
Clearly, he didn't want to play with Lakers if he turned on that.
No, not for that little bit of money they were offering him
It
after
wasn't a little bit of money, 84
No.
mil versus
He wanted
Philly
more
has
money,
now.
but then they could have came back after the end of the season and said, well, look, we're not going to pay you the 20, but we'll pay you whatever, 18, 17. It's better than the 6 that he's getting. He would have stayed. Trust me. He would have made more money and he would have been in a better situation.
Texas waters out, and this is where he is.
Yeah, that's true.
Still struggling on another lackluster team.
Yeah. He's in,
and he's not really good at distributing the ball. That they wanted someone to distribute the ball to AD.
Yeah, but he's a better shooter at the point guard position, which means that I saw last year guys
for that matter go after Wall.
Just sagging on the shooters.
Oh, don't worry.
Forcing him to shoot.
Don't be surprised if he's on
They're
the
gonna do the
Lakers
same
team.
thing. Trust me, they're gonna say we're gonna double team whoever else, LeBron, whoever else. Go ahead, beat us. And you know what it's gonna be? Brick, clank, clank. I already
Like I said, I've seen it, surprised if John Wall ends up in the Lakers.
Okay, there you go. Go get John Wall. If you get John Wall, now you're talking. If I'm LeBron, I'm trying to get John Wall. I can tell you that right now.
They'll get him for pennies too, and he wants to go to a contender.
How does Westbrook take it? How does Westbrook take this?
I don't think they can. I don't know that they can blend together well, but
of course not.
Yeah.
Westbrook and Wall, they're not going to blend good together. I can tell you that now, because one is kind of the same guy, but one guy is a better rebounder and the other guy's a better shooter, slightly better shooter. But I would take Wall, because Wall I can control. Wall's not going to give me as many turnovers. This guy's going to give me way too many turnovers. It's like Tony Romo. It's like Tony Romo. He'll go out there, put up big numbers, whatever. It's
you know what?
But he's going to throw the game in the fourth.
There's one other thing with the Lakers that we're not mentioning though.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be a completely different squad when Trevor Ariza comes back.
Dubs, come on, man.
He makes a difference, man. His
Defensively,
he makes a huge difference.
He'll make some threes here and there, but he's a role player.
He does.
But he's what's going to make the biggest difference? Somebody getting through to Westbrook that, look, dog, we only need 10 points for your game. A lot of those shots that you're taking, don't take them. If it's
10
not
points,
a bank
10
shot,
rebounds, 10 assists, you can still get your triple-double. It's just
triple-double.
It's just don't focus on the points.
Right. And focus on protecting the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't protect the ball. He doesn't treat every possession. I used to get so angry with playing with people like this, because it's like, dude, if you just stop on the turnovers, we got this game.
Mm-hmm.
But those turnovers, you keep giving it to the other team. I want to score every time I come down. That should be every team, and that's what the Wizards are doing this year. That's why I like Dinwiddie. Every time we go down, we're trying to score. We're not trying to make the flash play, whatever, the dunk on you and all that. Just keep it simple. And when you try to make it too much, it's still basketball at the end of the day. But when you try to make it all these other things, that's when you lose me. And right now, this is what I don't think Westbrook has realized, that, look, a lot of those 3-pointers you're taking, it's not necessary. You're already in the Hall of Fame, bro. A lot of we don't need all that. So distribute that. Let Carmelo take that last shot in that game. You saw that.
They'll get it. They'll figure it out and they'll get it right. Like I said, that's literally what they're trying to do now.
Hey, I thought we'd get it right when T.O. came. When T.O. showed up, I thought we were going to get it right too. But at the end of the day, he was still a distraction in that locker room. He was still doing stuff. It's like a cancer eating at you. Slowly but surely, it's going to end up killing you. And yeah, man, I ain't got that love for my man no more, as far as like him winning a championship. I thought it would work in the beginning, but now I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, I understand LeBron's not there. But when LeBron comes in, now you have another strong personality there. And what does that do for Westbrook's game? Does he get tight now? He doesn't completely play the way he's supposed to play, or does he understand that, look, I don't have to shoot the ball. I really don't have to. Just my layups. Look, he can still average 15 a game, Dubs, laying the ball up, hitting bank shots, and staying away from the free throw line. Gotta stay away from the free throw line. Late in games, he's not what you want. You don't want him and LeBron late in the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hacker LeBron, hacker this guy, because it's contagious. One guy starts missing, the other guy starts missing, everybody starts missing. That's what I see. And you throw Dwight Howard in there too. Oh man, you ain't gonna make any free throws. You want Carmelo, you want AD, you want certain other guys taking free throws at the end of the game, not those other two guys, right? So that's what I see happening. But so you're going with the Lakers. I'm going with Golden State, and so you're on the island with that. All right, good. Either or. All right, well, we'll see how it pans out, man. If someone from the East ends up winning it, I guess we're all, got our face with yolk on it. But until then, my friends, that's what it is. All right, y'all, man. Hey, it's been real, man. Hey, for the first, so Chris B, we filled in for you this week. Next week, you're going to be, or I guess the next time we show up with Chris B. Ballin, you're going to be taking the reins in and everything like that. I know you've been busy with work and everything like that, but, hey, this is your segment. We need you to lead the way, brother. All right? So we're happy to share the spotlight this week, but next time around, it's Chris B. Ballin with the NBA, baby, and it's...
They're playing basketball.
That's right.
We love that basketball.
Hey. You have just listened to or viewed All in One Sports Podcast, aka Get It. Also, check out our other segments on YouTube, Facebook, IG, and Twitter. Major League Baseball with Peter Dubs, doubles and double plays. Also, Kicking It with Uncle Pete Soccer. Or and the 500-pound gorilla in the Zoom. Also, 4th and 3, let's get it. They don't kick it anymore, man. They just go for it. So remember to apply some pressure to that subscribe button and do the same with that notification bell. And since you have been entertained and now F with us, share our content with family, friends, frenemies, foes, and even haters. So show us some love and interest with likes and comments for the red, white, and blue. And always keep it 100. So before you speak, listen. Before you write, think. Before you spend, earn. Before you decide, investigate. Before you criticize, wait. Before you pray, forgive. Before you quit, try. Before you retire, save. And before you leave, always say goodbye. So I hope you had a great day with us and an even better tomorrow with us. And thanks again for checking us out on this to Zoom. And we all just have one question, burning question for A1SP fan. And that is, you know what it is. Should we start saying it ourselves or no? We'll let it take it away.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puff. Hey, there you go. There you go. Yeah, it's been real. Catch you on the next episode. Chris B. Ballin with the NBA, baby. Yeah.